Hello, my dear students. I am Priyanka Goiri, your science teacher, and the chapter that we are discussing is heredity and evolution. Okay, so in the last class, what we have learned is that we discussed about speciation, that is, formation of new species, and we also discussed about the various factors that are associated with speciation. Okay, then we discussed about evolution and classification, where we studied how evolution and classification are closely linked to one another. Okay. In today's class, we are going to discuss about tracing evolutionary relationship. Okay. Now, characteristics in different organisms would be similar because they are inherited from a common ancestor. Okay, so we can say that, or we have studied that, if the characteristics that are present in different organisms are similar, that means they must be inherited from a common ancestor. Such characters are called homologous characters. Okay. In other words, we can say characters of different animals that have similar structure but differ in function are called homologous characters. In other words, we can say that if the characters of different animals have similar structure, please listen very carefully here. If the characters of different animals have similar structure but they differ in function, okay, if the function is different, such characters are called homologous characters. Okay, now let us try to understand this with the help of an example. Okay, now for example, mammals have four limbs, as do birds, reptiles, and amphibians. Okay, mammals, in case of mammals, or in the category of mammals, um, human beings are mammals, right? So human beings have four limbs, that means we have two hands and two legs, that means we have four limbs. And just like mammals or human beings, birds have four limbs, reptiles and amphibians also have four limbs. So this is the pictures that shows the limbs, the structure of limbs of frog, which is an amphibian, lizard, which is a reptile, and bird, and human, which is a mammal. So in from the picture, you can see their structure is more or less same, okay, or similar. Okay, so the basic structure of the limbs is similar, though it has been modified to perform different functions in various vertebrates. Okay, so as you can see from the picture that the structure is more or less similar, but their function is different. For example, in case of frog, the limbs are used for jumping. In case of lizard, the limbs are used for crawling. In case of bird, the limbs are used for flying. And in case of human beings, the limbs are used for doing various activities and for walking. So as you can see from the diagram that the structure is same but the function is different. Okay, so such characters are called homologous characters. Now, such homologous characteristics help us to identify an evolutionary relationship between apparently different species. So, by studying the homologous characteristics, we can identify evolutionary relationship between different organisms. Okay, clear? Now, however, all similarities in organ shape are not necessarily because of common ancestry. This is a very important point. Okay, it says that if the organ shape or the structure is same, it doesn't mean that they have common ancestry. Why I am saying so? Let us understand with the help of an example. So let us consider the wings of birds and bats. So this is a picture that shows the wings of bat and bird. The left one shows the wings of bat and the right one shows the wings of bird. Observe the diagram or picture very carefully. Now, birds and bats have wings, right? But squirrels and lizards do not. So, in case of lizard, we do not see any wing, and squirrels also they don't have any wing. So are birds and bats more closely related to each other than to squirrels or lizards? So does it mean that birds and bats are closely related than squirrels or lizards? What do you think? Wait, okay? Before you come to any conclusion, let us look at the wings of birds and bats very carefully. See the structure of the wings of bat and bird. Can you see any similarities or any differences? What do you think? Now, from the picture, it can be seen that the wings of bats have skin folds stretched mainly between elongated fingers. In case of bat, as you can see, it has got elongated fingers, and from that elongated fingers, skin folds are stretched. And for birds, the wings of birds are feathery, okay, covering all along the arm. In case of bird, from throughout the arm, they have got feathers. So the structure is very different, right? The structure is very different. The design of their wings, their structure and component are thus very different. They look similar because they have common use for flying, but their origins are not common. So they look similar. Why? Because they are used for flying. Okay, so thus characters of different animals that have different structures but similar in function are called analogous or characters. So if the structure is different and the function is same, then those characters are called analogous characters. So those characters are analogous character. Homologous characters where structure is same but function is different. In case of analogous, structure is different but function is same. Okay. Now let us try to understand our next topic, which is fossil. So what are fossils? So usually when an organism die, their body will decompose and be lost. Okay, so whenever an organism dies, its body is decomposed or decayed, and then it just mixed with soil, or nothing is left from there. Okay, in case of an like any organism, if it dies, most of the time it happens is that their body will decompose and they will just mix in the soil. But every once in a while, the body or at least some parts may be in an environment that does not let it decompose completely. But every once in a while, okay, the body or some parts of the body are not decomposed, okay, are not decomposed completely. Okay, so as you can see from the picture, these are the impressions. The first one is the impression of an organism's body, and the second one is the skeletons of organism. Okay, now so all these preserved remains of plants, animals and other organisms from the remote past are called fossils. So if the body of the organism doesn't decompose, it is left as such. So those preserved parts or those preserved remains of either plants or animals or any other organism is called fossils. Okay, now how do we know the age of the fossils? Okay, how can we tell how old is the fossil? So there are two methods to know the age of the fossils. The first one is relative method. So relative method is by estimating the age of the layer of the earth's crust where fossil is found. So if the fossil is near the surface, that means it is recent, and those fossils that are found in the deeper layers are ancient. Okay, so if we just start digging the earth and if we find any fossil just near the surface of the earth, that means we can say it is recent or new. And if it is found deep down inside the earth, then we can say it is ancient. So this method is your relative method. The second method is radiocarbon dating method. So this is done with the help of isotope. basically carbon isotope. So by detecting the ratios of different isotopes of the same element in the fossil material, we can find out the age of fossil. Okay. Now, what do we learn from fossils, or why do we need to study fossils? What is the significance of fossils? So, fossils help in establishing evolutionary relationship by providing connecting links. So, fossils help us to establish evolutionary relationship by providing link between organisms. Okay, it gives us information about how animals and plants lived in the past. So how different animals and plants that were present in the past, how they lived, the fossils tells us about them also. Okay, so let us try to recall what we have studied in today's class. We discussed, at first we discussed tracing evolutionary relationship. So we traced evolutionary relationship with the help of homologous organs or homologous characters and analogous characters, right? So homologous characters are those characters that are similar in structure but different in function, whereas analogous characters are those characters that are similar in function but different in structure, right? And then we discussed about fossils, that are preserved remains of plants, animals from the remote past, and they help us to uh, establish evolutionary relationship. Okay, so this is what we have studied in today's class. Thank you. I will see you in the next class.